Yeah, I think we're all good.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the third episode of Was This Helpful? Thank you so much for joining us. We continue to be Dan Pasto. Say hi.
Hello, my name's Dan Pasto.
Francie Davies. Say hi.
Hi.
And I'm Eli Davies. I'm super glad to have you here today. Before we started the podcast, Dan was about to start telling us something, and I did the thing where I said, "Stop!"
No, I don't want to say it. I don't
Halt!
want to. Okay, sure. I don't know if this is the first thing I want to say, but I was thinking about as a gag for like when I start doing real YouTube stuff. I was thinking about ending all my videos by saying like, thanks for watching, and as always, free Palestine and Ticketmaster.
Oh, that's funny.
That's amazing.
I like that.
That's iconic.
Just thinking of doing that.
If you said it at the start of your videos, you would filter out the riffraff.
That's true. That's true.
You don't always want to filter out the riffraff.
No,
Sometimes
sometimes
you need
I
the
need-
riffraff.
I need the riffraff at the beginning. Eventually, I won't need them.
Totally. So, today I went to a 5-year-old's birthday party.
Sick.
That's great, dude.
How
Isn't
old?
it?
How old?
5,
How
yes.
were they turning?
5.
How many candles were on the cake? Did they have the 5 candles, or was it a one big candle that says 5?
So this mom
Ooh.
is really
Or
cool,
both.
and she actually made. Oh, hold
5
on.
cakes.
Oh,
So you're a little bit more right than you think you are, because she actually made 80 cupcakes.
80?
Wow. That's a
80.
fucking
80?
lot. That's a bit.
You got to be shitting me.
Because there
20
were not
whoopie pies.
80 people there.
80 cupcakes.
Oh, whoopie pies.
And a regular cake.
I remember one time I
Wow.
was...
So 81.
Yes, in total she made 101 confectionaries.
Damn.
One time I was driving in the car with our dad, and he was eating a whoopie pie, and it exploded.
Oh no.
It was like a breaking the laws of nature type situation. Like,
When you're
Damn.
driving in a car and you're eating a whoopie pie, it's already funny.
It is really funny. Well, I mean, you could be doing something really serious. You could be doing anything, and you have a whoopie pie. It becomes really funny.
Right,
Funny name.
like you're in the situation room.
Yeah, yeah.
oh my god, yeah. Whoopie pies are like a Maine phenomenon, I think. I learned.
They are a Maine phenomenon.
I've seen them elsewhere.
They probably are, but they
literally
were
don't think I
invented in
have.
Maine. And
Oh, were they? I didn't know that.
what did you say?
I don't think I've seen them outside of Maine.
I haven't, and I know they were invented in
I think
Maine.
I've seen them outside of Maine. I don't know if I have, though. I might just be making that up.
I just
think
thought they
you're
were
tripping.
a universal truth.
They're like convergent evolution, like how things keep evolving into crabs.
Yeah.
Oh,
We keep
Jesus.
making sandwiches sweet.
I like a sweet sandwich.
I like them. I like a nice like fucking not sweet sandwich.
Yeah.
Unless it's like peanut butter, I fuck with that.
Is peanut butter sweet?
It can be.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I actually like the more savory peanut butters though.
I like peanut sauce.
Like for
Based?
that you get at Chinese food?
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Well, my friend Julia once made peanut sauce, and it was like next level. I'll never forget that.
Nice.
I don't like peanut butter, and I almost feel like it's a
Damn.
genetic thing where some people are just born not fucking with peanut butter.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, no one else in our family is like that.
I guess not.
So
Everyone
you
I can
can't-
think of.
Yeah, no,
Like-
everyone I could think of in our family is like, hell yeah.
I haven't surveyed though.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, I know that Bill fucks with peanut butter.
Yes, Bill fucks with peanut butter like a motherfucker.
He's down cataclysmic for peanut butter, actually.
Oh
Down
yeah.
cataclysmic is crazy.
I
s-
know your mom fucks with peanut butter.
So, Francie,
yeah.
it turns out that Dan and I actually have done a survey.
Well, between two.
That's true. Wasn't a very broad one.
I used to
Wasn't
eat
a
a
very
lot more
big
peanut
survey.
butter.
Oh, what happened?
Well, I don't know. I used to have, when I lived at camp,
Just move on.
a jar of peanut butter and like a camping spoon that Mark Maxwell gave me. No, that Eli gave me by way of Mark Maxwell. And I would just lay in bed in the dark and eat peanut butter.
That is very
It's pimp
sweet.
shit.
That's very sweet that you were using that multi-tool, because I never knew that you actually used it.
Well, I have since completely broken it, fucked it up. It's rusted. It's unusable. Because I'm
That's
not good
okay.
at taking care of my
No, that
tools.
particular tool was like made of cheese. It was not. It was
Yeah.
not a nice camping tool.
But I used it a lot. I did use it
Yeah.
a lot. It's helpful to have something like that.
You got your pound of flesh out of it.
I do have I have a new special spoon.
Go on.
It's just a nice ceramic
Wow,
spoon
I don't
that
have a special spoon.
that my bestie Connor gave me for some gift exchanging event, possibly Christmas
Oh,
or
that's great.
birthday. And it just lives near me. And I don't
Is it-
really wash it because I'm the only one who uses it.
Oh,
it's
you
usually
should.
just peanut butter. So that's a problem.
But Francie, just because you're the only one that uses it doesn't mean you don't have to wash it.
Well, I'm aware of that. It's a failing.
Okay. I'm sorry. Pointing out.
Is this
the
an
thing.
intervention?
Yes.
Francie, we're worried about that spoon.
Not you in particular. We're
you.
just worried about the spoon.
We're not. No, it's the spoon. It's dirty. It deserves to be clean.
It's not fair to the spoon.
No, you're not treating that spoon like a person.
Like with dignity and respect. It's cruel and unusual.
Yeah.
I'll repent.
Do you guys know about the time they froze hamsters?
No.
For science.
Oh yeah.
Why?
So, yeah. So they froze. So this scientist was trying to figure out if you could basically put someone into cryostasis, like a living thing into cryostasis, and
Yeah.
wake them back up again and reheat them and turn
Oh,
them back
Jesus.
to being alive.
Microwave
Not
'em up.
reheat them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put
Dan,
them back in
you-
the microwave.
So
Like,
Dan
whoa.
Dan thinks he's joking.
Oh.
So what they
God.
did was they froze these hamsters solid, dead. If something's frozen solid, it's dead. And then
Yeah.
this guy very, very gently microwaved it. So he got a special microwave antenna that he could, very carefully, continuously adjust the power. And he unfroze the hamsters and they were alive.
You're fucking joking. Are you
Like,
joking?
if these, I'm not joking. If you dropped these motherfuckers, they would go bonk. They were frozen solid. But he brought them back to life.
Wow.
I never.
How much money would they
Expected
have to
that.
offer? How much money would they have to offer somebody to like, to be a human
So
volunteer?
They tried with not with people, but with bigger organisms. Like, I don't remember if they tried it with, like, it was back in the 60s. So I think it was 60s. So they tried like cats and monkeys, right? They all died. They couldn't bring them back.
Oh,
I
with
always
the
knew
guinea
there was
pig,
something
the rats,
about
with
hamsters.
the guinea pig, hamsters.
I always knew
It
there
was
was something.
hamsters. What'd you say?
I always knew there was something about hamsters.
They're pretty. They're
turns-
pretty badass.
They're pretty badass. They're the most complicated organism that has ever been cryogenically frozen and resuscitated. And people thought, it works for hamsters. Why would it not work for bigger, more complicated things? We're still mammals. We have all the same tissues. We have all the same organs. Why is it different? Turns out it's just different. So anyway, that was the time that they microwaved hamsters and brought them back to life.
That's pretty cool.
That's the most shocking thing I've heard, like, in weeks.
Yeah, it sounds like because you just think about, you drop these guys on the floor and they go clunk, and then you're like, they're dead. What the fuck are you talking
Yeah,
about?
That's
yeah.
death.
Dead.
Like,
That's what death is.
so Walt Disney is not frozen.
No
Walt
way.
Disney,
Not in the
if
40s.
he's frozen, he's
dead.
Yeah.
And,
maybe.
and
but
honestly,
maybe it's
God
just
bless.
hamsters and humans. Like, you never know. We don't know until we try.
You know what, Francie? That's actually so right. We
It is
don't
true.
know.
We
You
don't
never know if you don't go. Never
'Cause-
shine if you don't glow.
Is that the lyrics?
You never
Yeah, it's-
microwave if you don't
that's
freeze in
Smash Mouth.
snow. So today, I go to start our very expensive snowblower, and the
Mm.
drive clutch doesn't disengage, so it has trouble starting because it's trying to move itself while it's starting. And I'm like, no, you're not supposed to brake. You're way too expensive. It turns out I have to like get underneath the frickin' thing and look at it, but it turns out it was a relatively minor thing. It's just a spring not pulling something back into place, and I just bumped it and it worked fine. But
Oh, nice.
but like Honda, you're not supposed to do this. This is supposed to be engineered much better than. It's like I actually don't understand how it's supposed to work, because the spring is not like the spring is like, okay, it's like too long, which means that it's not pulling as much as it would need to like exert the right amount of force, because it's not going to get stretched if it's too long, like obviously. So
Mm-hmm.
what the hell, Honda?
What the hell, Honda?
Do you think you could take the snowblower and like
in
drive to the
Arc of
store?
America?
Could I take so it doesn't actually pull well, it actually will pull me because it's got some kick to it, but I still have to walk.
Oh, I thought it was a riding
It's more like
snowblower.
walking a dog. In fact, it's a lot like walking a big rowdy dog.
Big rowdy dog.
Yeah. It I mean, seriously.
But it blows snow.
So
BRD.
you can make it's tracked, Dan. It's a cool thing. It's got
Oh,
tank treads.
nice.
And
Have I?
so,
I don't think I've seen this thing.
no, this is
It's
this
new.
winter. This is a new acquisition.
Nice. What's the model? I want to look it up.
Oh goodness gracious me! It's the
Yeah. What's the model?
Give me a second. Goodness. It is OBS. You gotta stop switching scenes. I swear to God. HSS 928 AAW.
That sounds like a
Oh, wait. Say that
ship
again.
from Star
HAS?
Trek.
HSS 928.
HSS 928
That's it.
A. Ooh.
That's enough.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, this thing's awesome.
Yeah, it's
This
a
thing's
legitimate.
awesome, dude.
It's a legitimate
Yeah.
piece of equipment
Yeah.
for sure.
How much was it?
This thing fucking rules.
It was $3,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, apart from the problem today, which took a total of like 3 minutes to solve, it is a fucking effing joy to use.
Yeah.
It is a pleasure and a privilege. It really is. It starts every time. It's a key start. It charges its own battery. So I just turn a key like a car, and it will happily snowblow half-inch maple branches if I ask it to.
And you have to ask nicely.
I have to ask. It actually won't, because it has shear pins, so it doesn't tear itself apart. But it will. It's never bogged down. Like, I've never challenged it yet. And like I said, if I have it on max speed, because it's adjustable, the speed that it goes. If I have it on max speed and I hit the clutch to make one of the tank treads stop and the other one keeps spinning at full speed, it will swing me around like a goddamn, I don't know, ponytail.
The
And it's-
Or
ponytail.
like a shot put.
Yeah, no, it will take charge. It will say, I'm leading now if we're dancing
It's kind
together.
of a dangerous piece.
How do you guys
Right.
feel
It's not-
about? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
How do you guys feel about getting lifted up and spun around?
I've never been,
I liked it a lot when I was a kid.
I don't remember having done that. Anyway, so I spent some of the morning messing with the snowblower, which apart from this morning, it's so nice to use.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you gotta drop $3,000 on a big piece.
Well, it was specifically like, I don't want it to be a hassle if we're not gonna just get someone else to plow our driveway. I want it to not make me hate my life, and boy, do I ever
Yeah.
not hate my life.
You do the whole driveway.
I do the whole driveway. I do
All the way up?
no, but I
Oh,
do
oh.
halfway
Yeah, no
up.
way.
Where were you working? How was the job?
It was fucking great. I don't know if I can talk about it.
That's exciting.
It's really cool though. Just like there was an animator conflict, so they brought me on.
An animator conflict.
Yeah, they got in a fight. No, what?
Wow.
Yeah, there was an animator conflict. Like one of them had to bail.
Okay. Have you signed
So
an
I
NDA
was able to
before?
go. Oh yeah, I've
For
signed tons of
what?
them.
For a lot of things?
Yeah, for mostly commercials.
I've never signed an NDA. I would have no reason
Mm.
to, but
Yeah.
it's kind of. I feel like I'm missing out.
Who cares?
You know, with
Oh,
teachers,
yeah.
there's so much stuff that you're not allowed to talk about, but you never sign an NDA. It's just
Just
you can't.
illegal.
It's just illegal. It's just breaking the law, and teachers just break it all the time.
Okay, this is something I wonder about therapists. I genuinely
Mm.
wonder how much therapists stick to the rules that like they're not allowed to talk about their clients.
Yeah, just like how much shit they talk with their
Because
friends.
my current therapist is friends with my former therapist. He told me.
Really?
And I wonder, I'm like, I trust him, so I don't think he is. I choose to trust him because it's sort of like the blind trust of therapy is like why it works.
Yeah.
But I just wonder in general if therapists talk about their clients.
Could he
like over
legally-
drinks.
Yeah.
Huh?
Like over drinks at the bar. Yeah, you never believe this guy is a fucking real basket case.
That feels like fucked up, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, those Grey's Anatomy doctors always were talking about the hospital stuff at the bar.
Yeah, they were.
Mm.
And I don't know if
I never saw Grey's Anatomy.
I don't know if I want to be talked. Like, I would love it if I was. I would love it if he was that interested in my life, but I genuinely don't think he is.
Oh, so you wish your therapist was invested enough in your life to like talk about you to other people?
I mean, I think that's like an eternal.
I mean, that is pretty cute.
Like, I feel like a lot of people who. Because I'm like really into therapy. Like, I really
Nice.
like it. I'm a
yeah,
big fan.
yeah. No, no.
That's
Speak
great,
to that,
dude.
Tell me
Stoked
what that
about
means
that.
to you.
Well, I'm like committed to the whole. I think it's very, very helpful for me, and I talk about my therapist a lot. And so
No, I
Nice.
love that.
Yeah, that's great.
I think it's like a childish, maybe
Would you have a few drinks with your therapist?
no,
Oh no, way!
You wouldn't.
No
you
shot.
wouldn't get sloppy with your therapist.
no.
All right.
Dan,
Yeah.
so you wouldn't get? Would you get sloppy with your therapist? Would be a great shirt. Dan,
I-
have you ever been to therapy?
A bit. I did therapy as like a kid because I was like just crazy and weird.
I love that.
It's like just off the fucking wall. What's wrong with this child?
You know, it is weird
Mm.
because on the episode that Francie and I did without you, which will come out before this one,
Mm-hmm.
we were talking a little bit about like ADHD at work, and you have a job where ADHD maybe isn't as big of
Yeah.
a problem.
I actually talk about this a lot. I've found a profession where all the things that made me like weak and strange as a kid have now become like my greatest strengths.
Well, okay.
It's like-
oh, sorry. Keep going.
Like I'm doing like it's like, oh, you know, I can't sit still and think about one thing. You know, great. Stand up and think about 50. Like, oh, I
Yeah.
can't, you know, I love to perform and make people laugh, but I don't want anybody to look at me. It's like, great. Do it in a room by yourself.
I mean, counter argument. Everyone with ADHD, if they were able to like follow their passions, they'd feel like that. Like if everyone with ADHD was just getting paid to do their thing that they were meant to be doing.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
It wouldn't
what
be
it
so
is,
limiting.
I'm privileged enough. Yeah. Yeah, it's very limiting if you just like work, if you just like have just a job. Just like if you just work at the water treatment plant.
Oh my God, I
There's
know someone
another-
who works at the water treatment plant.
Do they have ADHD?
I really think so.
Yeah.
I don't know him that well. He's my coworker.
Wait, your coworker also works at the water treatment plant?
Yes, in Montana.
Yeah,
Damn.
he makes the coffee and then he deals with the poo that comes from when people drink a lot of coffee.
Well, he's from Montana. He's here for school, so I think when he goes, well, whatever. Anyway,
He's
But
here for
Okay.
school
it's
and he
just
works
funny.
2 jobs. What a king.
Damn, what a beast. This guy's a legend.
he works one job when he goes home to Montana. He doesn't
Oh, and
commute.
then one job when he comes back for school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so when you say the water treatment plant, you mean like a water treatment plant somewhere in Montana.
Helena, Montana.
Okay.
Doxed.
Hell on Earth, Montana.
Yeah, what it is really, it's like I've been privileged enough to have enough capital behind me to like put enough hours into stop motion.
Well, you also worked very hard.
Yes, but lots of people work very hard. The difference between me and many of them, capital,
Yeah, that's a hard pill to swallow.
privilege in various ways. Yeah, I did work very hard, but I also had a lot of advantages that other people didn't have.
It's easy to be like, why am I not working like this person is working? Why am I not like seeing creative
Yeah.
success? It's
Yeah,
hard
I
not
work
to think
hard.
that it's a me or a
Yeah.
oneself.
And
problem.
conversely, I think it's very easy to think, oh, I got where I am because I'm fucking awesome. Because I worked
Well.
harder. I figured it out. I'm the one who fucking did it because I'm the man.
Well, that's what we think.
Oh, well, thanks.
Yeah, well, that is the thing.
That's part.
Dan, is
That's
that
part of it. That's part of
It's
it.
not wrong.
It's not wrong.
Yeah, it's not wrong. It's just not the whole story.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like I told my parents I wanted to go to art school, and they were like, oh, yeah, okay.
I remember.
And then like my dad like sat me down. He was like, I talk with some people at work, and they all say the same thing. If you're gonna be if you're gonna do art for a living, he said this exactly. He said you gotta jump in with both feet.
Yeah.
Because my dad speaks in colloquialisms.
And that's really hard to do.
Yeah, well, it's like I know a lot of people who told their parents I want to go to art school, and they said, dude, fuck no, you
Yeah.
can't do that.
Yeah.
And those people probably would have been great animators
Mm-hmm.
if they were given the same time that I was given to make all the mistakes and just have years to play and kind of zero in
Yeah.
on what it is that works for me.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and I remember distinctly being happy and surprised. Specifically, the emotion I remember feeling was surprise when you said that you were going to art school, and like the surprise was your parents said yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
I mean, I knew people in high school that I was in the fucking art class with in high school. They were like, "Yeah, my mom said I can't go to art school."
That's
And
crazy.
like there was
Fuck.
one kid, he wasn't in my class, but like I remember this one kid, Kyle. He always talked about animation and always talked about how much he loves animation and how he wants to be an animator so bad. And then his parents made him like go to a school that has an animation program, but like actually get a regular degree in like some bullshit. And I saw his reel, like sophomore or junior year, and it was just clearly the reel of a guy who made it in a fucking day.
In a good way or
like-
a bad way.
No, and like a dude, like he wasn't able to clock the hours.
Oh, yeah.
He just wasn't able to
Yeah.
fucking sit and grind and just do that. He also had to go and learn algebra.
That's setting someone up for not being able to jump in with both feet.
Yeah, they
That's saying-
literally can only jump in with one foot.
Yeah, and that's how it
One
feels
toe.
to be like not doing art full time. Is like, how
Yeah,
am I supposed
absolutely.
to jump into this with 2 feet when
Yeah, exactly.
I only have 2 and they're busy?
They're busy.
They're busy. They're walking.
They're doing stuff. They're kind
They're
of walking
walking
back
me to
and forth
work.
on the same track every day, like a fucking horse.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those parents, they are being rational in a sense because they might not have the money to support their child after art school if they need
Mhm.
support. And they might say, I can only support you through college. Like, this is all I can do. And I can, I can barely do that. So it's not an irrational choice if that's the family's financial situation. Where it gets
Yeah.
infuriating is when it's not the family's financial situation and they could do it financially. And I'm sure you know some people who are like that.
It's cruel that we make people that people want so badly to do something with their life and other people get to do it. I get to animate for a living. I get to do that. So many people want to do that and they don't get to do that because there's not enough work and because they didn't get the advantages I had when they were young. Or when they were young, out like college.
Well,
And it's
okay.
they're damned.
Okay. But also, you could have slept less and worked a job and not had some of those advantages and been in exactly the same place you are right now. Like, you're not
That's
wrong,
true.
but let's take a big step back and just acknowledge that some of this is Dan being humble in a way that is not totally rational. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's plenty irrational.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
well,
I'm good. I'm good at what I do.
No, it's not even that. It's
And
not
you
even that
should
you're
be
good,
able
'cause you're
to do
talking
it.
about time.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about time invested and work invested, and somebody could have sacrificed other things in their life and worked a job, and yeah, no, it would have sucked, and I am in favor of universal basic income. At the
Mhm.
same time, someone could have done
Yeah.
it without your advantages, and the fact that you did it just means that your life
Yeah.
sucked less, which we stan. But
Yeah,
it
No,
doesn't
one of my
mean
one of my best friends grew up like fucking poor, and he moved to LA with no support, got a part-time job, and then just grinded until he got into until they started hiring him on commercials and stuff. And he's
Yeah.
like one of my best friends. So it is doable. I didn't do it.
yes.
I've been kind
You
of
don't always have to be humble.
I've been kind of thinking about school for the past few months. I did have an epiphany, an unfortunate epiphany last year that I would love to go back to school for music.
Yep.
But it's like the last thing I want to do is take out more loans. So it would
Right,
be really
right.
hard.
Well, what makes it hard is that it might not be the right thing for you right now, but
Mhm.
you're like, wait a second, but I want to do it now though.
Well, yeah, but
Mhm.
then everything just started kind of spinning out of control. So now there's this asteroid. It's like, man, let's chill. Do you guys know about the asteroid?
What
No.
about the asteroid?
Oh,
What asteroid?
2.5% chance of hitting the Earth in like 2032.
Shit.
Right?
I'll take those odds.
It's good odds. It's
Yeah,
good odds. It's good
I
odds.
also like those odds.
It's something to think
I mean,
about.
Well,
I
you
like them
know,
either way.
who we do got a rocket ship guy in the White House.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll be able to save us from the dude. If Elon Musk saves Earth from a meteor, I'm gonna take back all the shit I said about him.
No, that's gonna
I'm
be so
not.
annoying. I am not.
Really,
No,
dude.
no.
If he saved Earth from a meteor, I'm like, dude, just fucking do whatever you want.
No, NASA should
hell,
be doing that.
Hell no.
That should be a public
know, man.
program.
I'll call that a strongly
I am
disagree.
such a NASA stan. Fuck my ever loving life.
Because like
I mean, yeah, I
Politics,
still
yeah.
wouldn't like him.
no, I wouldn't take back shit. I would say let me be wiped out by the meteor.
Really, I don't want to be wiped out by a meteor. I'd rather live another however long.
Yeah. Francie, NASA, what do you want to talk about?
Well, this is one of my special interests,
Oh,
specifically the Apollo space program.
It's the best part.
well, how much of that is relevant to the meteor?
Oh, none at all. I love NASA and I'm passionate about it. And the whole Musk shit, it's like SpaceX has been doing some really cool shit. They successfully landed a booster rocket twice successfully now. And I think that's really
Where'd they
sick.
land it?
It's
On
like
a
they had like
floating-
a catcher thing, like that catches it. I don't know where.
A catcher thing?
Like
Oh,
it
so
doesn't
you're not
land on the
talking about a
ground. It
booster,
gets
France.
caught. Well, whatever the big engine that would.
Starship, baby. They caught it with a gantry.
And I love that, and I think it's really exciting. But the fact that it's SpaceX and not NASA, not like a public program, kind of gets me down.
Yeah, it really blows.
Because I like philosophize how I feel about the moon landing. I like.
Go on.
How do you feel about it?
Well, I think it's okay. Are we getting
I
into
think
this?
it's cool.
What do you,
You
mean?
can-
Are we getting into this, Francie?
if
What
you
do
want
what do you
to
think
talk
the
about
podcast
it.
is for?
What?
If you want to talk about it, talk about it.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Okay.
make you feel attacked there.
Yeah, I'm like, are you mad?
I'm down to talk about everything.
Oh yeah.
The Apollo space program was the biggest commitment of resources made by any country in quote unquote peacetime. Although, huge caveat, the Cold War was happening and people were
Yeah.
dying in
Yeah.
in the global south and in places that were not the west. People were, a lot of people died because of. I actually watched a video about this the other day that was very well explained, but I'm not quite remembering how they put it. Anyway, this was the largest commitment of resources made by a country that wasn't directly for warfare.
Mm-hmm.
It funded over like 500,000 people wait, that number is wrong. I had it memorized for a while, but it employed, a huge amount of people and used resources from like hundreds of thousands of outside organizations. They created fields of study that didn't previously exist. And I think that every human being has thought about going to the moon. It's like a universal thing, I think. And people say that they don't care about going to the moon. But I feel like
They're lying.
everyone, like, come on, it's the
do be
moon.
lying though.
They're lying. Come on.
My specific interest that I've delved into and like read all the relevant Wikipedias is the spacecraft itself. That's where my obsession really lies. I think it's...
Which one is your favorite?
What's your favorite spaceship?
The whole ensemble. I mean, the command service module and the LEM. I mean
the command service module.
So the okay. Oh my God. So the if you're picturing the Saturn V rocket, a very small part of that is actually what's going to the moon, and an even smaller piece of that is what's coming back. So the command service module consists of the big part of it that sort of houses all of the most of the like a very powerful engine and a lot of the computing tech, and then there's the command module, which is where the 3 astronauts are for most of the voyage. That's the only part that comes back to Earth. And then there's the LEM, which is actually 2 spacecrafts in and of itself. There's a descent and an ascent engine. But so when we were kids, we watched these movies about the Apollo space program, and so a lot of this info is coming from that, but I've like fact checked it. Going to the moon is all about what?
Weight.
So this
Francie,
Wait, what?
do you want that? Francie, for context, do you want that monologue?
Yes.
You ever hear of a Russian rocket guy named Yuri Kondratyuk? Back in 1916, he realized something that we seem to have forgotten today. Getting to the moon is going to be all about weight. Look at the size of this thing. It's got to be 60, 70 feet tall, a couple of 100 tons at least. You really need to take all that to the surface? No. What Kondratyuk wondered, what I wonder is, what if we took along a smaller vehicle, lightweight, that we just used to land? Something like this. But Tom, you could never re-enter the Earth's atmosphere in that. I know. You'd come back on the spacecraft you took from Earth. But that means you'd have to have a rendezvous between the two of them in lunar orbit. Exactly. When Broughton called his method Earth orbit rendezvous, I call it lunar orbit rendezvous. Tom, we don't even know if rendezvous is possible in Earth orbit, and you want to do it around the moon? Wouldn't that be kind of dangerous? I don't know. Would it?
I don't know what. I love us.
What
I'm fucking
iconic.
obsessed.
Iconic.
So yeah, they decided that the way that they were going to go to the moon, since JFK said we're going to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, which he actually said, was that they were going to use like lunar orbit rendezvous. But getting out of Earth's atmosphere takes the initial thrust of the Saturn V booster rocket, the S-1B,
I think
question
so,
mark.
yeah. Yeah.
That amount of thrust created by that explosion, picture cars lined up front to back from California to New York across the continental United States, all like running at once. That's the amount of thrust just to get off Earth. And so then you're like, they shed pieces of the machine, of the whole rocket, until what's left to take them to the moon is the command service module and the LEM. And then
Dan, do we still have you?
A little.
Okay, Dan. Where'd we lose
What?
you?
When we started talking about how much thrust we need, I mean, yeah, you need a lot of thrust to break. That's to break the atmosphere or Earth's gravity, or what?
Yeah.
So
So
you need so much more thrust to get off Earth than to get off the moon.
so this is a really fun.
That's a great question. I don't know the answer.
This is a really fun thing to think
I'm
about,
the
Dan.
king of great questions.
Fuck yeah.
So Dan, what
Yes.
do you have to burn? What do you have to do to get something to fly up?
You gotta burn fuel.
Yes. So when you burn your fuel, you don't burn it all on the ground. You don't like rev it up and let it go like a stomp rocket. You
Yeah.
have to burn it continuously. So you have to carry your fuel with you.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you have to carry the fuel, you need more fire to push
Yeah.
more fuel.
Yeah. More
so-
fuel needs more fuel.
It's
Also,
an
gravity?
exponential problem.
We have gravity, more of it. So is that also a problem?
Well, not really. It's a problem, but it's a problem on a very tiny fraction of the scale of the you have to carry your fuel up problem, because the space station, low, medium Earth orbit famously experiences most of the gravity. And if you're already going that fast, you don't have to burn as much. It's a very small fraction of the fuel. It's mostly that you have to drag all of that fuel with you, and you need more fuel to burn the fuel. That's why the Saturn V had to be so fucking big. And it's also why it was so much of a savings to let go of the spent parts of the rocket so that you didn't have to drag them up into orbit with you.
Yeah.
It's so elegant to me.
Yeah. It's
It
pretty
is.
sick.
My thing about the Apollo program that I come back to, the reason I say philosophize, is I think it's proof that the United States government and governments in general have a really awesome power to do. We went to the moon.
Cool
There's
ass
theoretically nothing that we shouldn't be able to do.
Yeah.
Our problems that we're having on Earth, as Kamala Harris once said in the debate where there were so many Democrats. Anyway, climate change is a man-made problem with man-made solutions. We're just not availing ourselves of those
They're just not profitable.
solutions. We're absolutely capable. And I think
Oh,
that
absolutely.
if you have a big government, Stan, look at what it is capable of. Like, we said, okay, what do we have to do to get to the moon? How much money do we need? Who do we need? Let's do it. We're going to do it. We're
Yep.
just going to
They
do
fucking
it.
did it.
And that's why I have sort of created this, like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
people watching the
philosophy
pod
around.
should go and watch BPS.Space's video from the NASA Ames Research Complex, where he goes and looks at their Arc Jet. And I won't say anything else because I won't spoil it, but it's one of the best videos on YouTube. It's amazing.
You should
There's
also watch-
such cool stuff there.
Apollo 13 with Tom Hanks.
Dan, you've seen Apollo 13, right? That everybody's seen.
Not since
everybody's
I
seen
was
that, right?
a little kid, but yeah.
I haven't seen it in at least a month.
No, I think you guys are much more into space stuff.
Well, we
Yeah.
were genetically engineered.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
you
thought it
really
was just-
were.
We didn't have a choice in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of your parents are just fuck with it so hard.
Actually, so I got this comment. Both Francie and I have gotten this comment from people who are like, your family's familial conversations are nuts. They're like, what you guys are talking about, like literature and the space program and science. Just like, what the hell are you guys doing?
Yeah.
It's
most
extremely
families just
cerebral.
most families are like, oh, kick the ball, touchdown.
What was it I once
Yeah.
said?
You
Like,
know?
highly intellectual conversations with like very high stakes for some reason.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember they'd get into fights about it. When I was like, I remember being like 6 and like yeah, but like our parents would be fighting about like fucking like Mark Twain or something.
Yeah.
Like
Lord of the
screaming.
Rings. Oh my god.
Yeah, they'd be having
this
a
is
shouting
why-
match.
This is why I only like having arguments about serious things. I'm down
Yeah.
Wait,
for an argument around
wait,
the
why
table
you-
if it's about serious things. If it's about
Yeah, so you're down to have an argument about serious things.
yes, if it's about
Yeah,
politics
sure.
or something
Yeah,
I
sure.
really care about or something, but if it's something that's day to day or something that's bickery, oh, my anxiety
just don't care.
spikes. No, I care. I need it to stop. Please stop fighting.
Oh.
Are we mad? Are you mad? Let's not be mad. But that's only if it's about trivial things.
Yeah, so the thing about the fighting about fucking Mark Twain is not beating the autism allegations.
Yeah, right.
The allegations are flying.
They are flying.
Yeah.
Just like take a step back and think about what we just said. Like that's not normally.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I was just trying to decide if I thought it was a good thing because it's our thing, you know, la cosa nostra. But you know, is it a bad thing or not? I'm not sure. I just kicked my microphone like fully. Whoop-ah!
Oh,
All right.
no.
Is it okay?
Oh yeah, no, it's good. I just
Okay.
sorry to the listeners.
Sorry to this
So
man.
Dan, you can't tell us what you were doing this week because it's
No.
federally classified.
I mean, no. It's just I probably could. I probably shouldn't because the thing is, like, I probably wouldn't get like sued, but I wouldn't get fucking hired again.
Yeah.
Oh,
you-
no,
you
no,
need
I
the-
don't
I would
want
I
you
would
to.
hurt I would hurt my reputation.
I'm just teasing you about having very important stuff that you can't tell us.
I'm shooting like hella time lapses though,
Fuck
and
yeah.
like when it comes out, I'll make a ton of content about it.
That's awesome.
Sick.
Is that the first time you've said I'll make a ton of content about it in your life? It sounded good.
In those words, I think so.
It sounded good coming out of your mouth. It fit.
It works.
No,
You know,
it works.
No, I really hate the term content.
I don't. And I honestly I think you should get over it a little bit. I think anybody, not you in particular, but like it's okay. It's okay. Maybe that's because I love content. Maybe that's
Yeah,
the
maybe
problem.
I like art.
Ah, see, okay.
Mm,
One of us is the problem.
no,
It ain't gonna be me.
I'll be the problem.
All right, Francie. Content
Hmm.
or art? Make a choice. I'm so screwed in this, by the way.
That's like saying turkey or salami.
Yeah, make a choice.
No, it's not. It's like saying
I
like
don't
shit or
particularly
chocolate
like-
cake.
No, I don't particularly like making content, but I sure do enjoy ingesting it. I think that there's a place for content. I think content has taught me a lot.
Oh yeah.
I create art, and I'm not particularly interested in creating content. And I think that's for better or for worse. There's a lot of ways in which if I were to create content, I could probably share my art, whatever.
Oh
but
yeah. But
I
you gotta
can't-
let go of the art of it a little bit in order to make content. Which I'm wondering as I
Which
say
I'm
that if
not-
that's really true, Dan.
I don't know if that's entirely true. If you want to make enough content for the algorithm to feed you, then yes, it is true because you can't make enough shit fast enough
Oh,
unless
yeah.
you're like I don't know, you're crazy or you don't sleep or you're a robot.
And that's sort of why I decided at some point to work a menial job and then do art on the side.
Yeah,
But what
that's
that
kind of the
creates-
meta.
What that creates is not being able to dive in with both your feet.
Yeah.
And so you have
Yeah.
to be really careful about how you're taking care of yourself, how you're managing your time, and how you're sort of, I think taking care of yourself is the best way to put it because, half your time is eaten up.
Yeah.
You work 2 weeks out of the month. God, I work fucking 3+ weeks out of the month just to make rent.
Yeah.
So it's maybe if I were more interested in creating content, things could be different. Who knows?
Maybe, but
Well,
Dan
it
is
takes a
right.
lot to get to a point where content is creating you money.
Yeah.
That's so
like
true.
it's a significant gap in time.
Yeah.
And unless you're prepared to really spend extra time even above and beyond that, Dan's
Above and
right that
beyond,
you
absolutely.
have to sacrifice some of the artistic you have to sacrifice what yourself and what you actually want to make because you're
Yeah.
hunting,
A number.
I don't think I can do that. It makes me wonder
Exact-
about
yeah.
a lot of my life choices.
I wasn't able to do it for a long time. I only decided to be a content guy in like June.
Yep.
No, like before. What's the month before June? March, April, May.
May.
Like I think about
really
May,
hard to
I
go
decided
backwards.
yeah, I can't do months backwards. I have to start at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's okay. Dan, I was
Uh,
on the phone with you when you decided to be a content creator. I was
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was standing in the barnyard, and
That
we
makes
were
sense.
talking about
We
some
talk often.
heavy. So we were talking about some heavy, and I said, "Dan, what the hell?" or some variant of that.
Yeah.
But that wasn't what pushed you over the edge. I wasn't what pushed you to make content. Because if I was, it would have
You helped.
happened 10 years
Yeah,
ago.
it would have happened. It would have happened 10 years ago. If you were the decider, I would have done it 10 years
Yeah.
ago. I wasn't ready then.
The deciding factor is watching right now.
It's not
Mhm.
like oh, I should have like knuckled up and should have like man up and fucking do that. I didn't want it. I wasn't ready.
Sure.
I was fully unprepared to compromise anything. Now
That's
I'm a
true.
little more prepared to compromise stuff. Now
And
I'm a little more sure of myself. I'm a little more aware of kind of what's going on. And I've had enough time to noodle.
And I hope you've
And play.
discovered how you don't have to compromise that much.
It's true. You just
Yeah.
shift what you just kind of shift your is if what you want is to make content, then you don't have to compromise at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I don't want to make content. I've warmed up to it. Really, what I want to do is I want to make like weird music videos.
Fuck
Mm.
yeah.
It's like really, I want to spend a year on like a crazy music video that's like 3 or 4 minutes. Like that's what I do for a year. That's what I want to do. That's never
Yeah.
gonna happen.
And it would
So
have
I'm like,
to
oh,
get
you know.
25 million views minimum to be worth it.
It would have to be it would have to be the best fucking 4 minutes of your life.
Well, this is a big reason why I think about music school is because when I was at Sarah Lawrence, I was in the music program for one amazing semester, my last semester.
Yeah.
And the resources that became available to me at Sarah Lawrence College, which the music program is one building. They used to be the Carriage House. Like, actually that's a lie. It's the Carriage House and then another building, whatever. But I had access to the studio. I had access to practice rooms with instruments. I had access to people and, equipment and shit. And, that's very appealing. And I'm like,
There's no substitute for any of those things you just listed.
what do you mean?
Yeah.
Just space to go in and noodle. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
a third of
s-
what you fucking need to do it.
a studio and a group of people who are all trying to get better at one thing,
Yeah.
one experience with that one thing.
That's really what you get out of school that you can't get on your own. That's
I think,
precisely what you get, and you
You-
can't get it on your own.
I think you can.
Get it on your own?
I
Well, you
think
have to be
people
like
have done
you
it.
have to be
The networking is insane.
you probably need to be born with a very special kind of mind to be able to get that on your own.
Well, yeah,
like
and
you-
I don't
like
think I
you
have
gotta-
it.
I
You
think
gotta
what
be a
she's
networker.
saying. I think what she's saying. Yeah, but you can do that though. Right?
Right,
You
but I
have to
can't-
love networking.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I've been struggling with for the past while.
It's like people like you and me networking, like other people who are people like you and me. When we network, it takes some of our juice for that day. Other people,
that
it
week.
doesn't drain that juice.
Yeah.
Other people gain juice from doing that.
I
Not
have a
me.
hard time.
I only gain juice from food, sleep, and making animation.
I have a hard time taking you seriously, Dan, because you have so many friends.
I didn't get
That's
any of them
different.
through networking.
That's so
Well,
different.
But so what?
I didn't get
Well,
any
I
of
think-
the.
Sorry.
What?
You go.
I'm missing something clearly.
What are you missing?
No, I don't know what I'm missing, but
I've
I
never
said friends.
had artistic colleagues.
Yeah,
I've had friends who we do things together.
I get it. I get it.
And
it's weird. I remember like I had this one friend who I didn't think would get along with another one of my friends, and they were both together, and they kind of didn't really get along.
isn't that
I was like, "Aw, damn it."
scary?
No,
I
they
don't-
kind of like got it. They just didn't click, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" I knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah, I have friends like that. Oh, it's not fun.
That's rough. I've never had that experience because I've never had friends. That's not true. I have had friends, but not that many of them. I'm working on
Like,
it though. I'm getting better.
yeah, dude, you are. I'm stoked. I'm stoked for you.
I'm leveling up slowly. I'm grinding.
Yeah.
Grinding. It is a
I
grind.
feel like it's harder to make friends if you don't drink or smoke.
So that's I don't think what's standing in my way. I have two
Yeah.
pieces of
No, but it's like-
of data for that. One is that it's like I don't really see that as being as much of a problem for teacher and school adjacent people. Because they're
Do like substitute teachers not go to the bar?
No, they definitely do. It's just it's more accepted to do other things as
Like
well.
frisbee golf?
Sure, we'll go with frisbee golf. The other reason I think that's not actually what's standing in the way, it's just me that's standing in the way, is that I had a group of friends this one time that I went to the bar with them like a couple times, and it was super chill because I
Nice.
would be the designated driver and I would be
Oh
chilling.
yeah.
I was
That's good shit.
straight chilling. And
Yeah.
it's actually weirdly kind of meditative to be in a bar where everybody's getting drunk and rowdy and I'm just like drinking a Coke and having a great time. It's not that bad.
Nice.
I found that I can't really do that. Alcohol is such a social aid for me, but it also really does not agree with my body in my old age. So sometimes it's hard to be social in large groups.
You know what I've been doing lately? I've been drinking like one beer and then I've been like sitting on it.
Yeah.
And then
That's
like I'll
real.
get another one later. Like I'll like if I go out and get drinks with friends, it's very rare that I'm gonna drink 3 beers.
Yeah.
It's like I'll get one when we get there. It's like I've had times where me and my friends go to the bar and we all get a single beer and we're there for like 2 hours and we leave.
I love that.
Like that was a great that was a great night. I'm thinking of one day in particular where me and 2 other friends went to a bar, each got a single beer, stayed there for like an hour and a half and then left. It was great.
I hate to say it, Den, but that sounds very 30 years old of you.
Yeah, I was 29 when it happened.
You
It
were
was
you were
great.
pre-gaming being 30.
Yeah, I was basically 30.
You're 30 now?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, dude, so far it's all right. I hurt my foot real bad though.
Damn.
That sucks.
Can you bike?
A bit. I shouldn't bike like long.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I biked like an hour recently, which is something that I can do pretty. I do that all the time, but like now I was like, my foot kind of hurts. Shouldn't do that. So I don't think I'm
You know what
gonna
would
do
be
that
so
anymore.
bad? It would be
What?
so bad if that was the thing that made you get a car.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Oh,
bleak.
that would suck if that was the thing that did it.
I still haven't
Yeah, 'cause-
biked in the city.
That's
Mm.
probably
That's okay.
good.
I really want
Sounds
to.
very scary. Sorry, what?
I really want to, but it is super scary. I want to skate. I want to skateboard.
That's way scarier.
Why does it feel like the opposite to me?
You're wrong.
I think
Okay.
that she's right because the speeds
No!
are so much lower.
And you're standing
There's
up. The control
You're
of the
basically
situation
standing on a
feels
bike.
better.
But you're standing
You're
on a
so
board
much
with
lower to the
wheels
ground.
on it. There's no
You're
brakes.
so much lower to the ground.
All right, we're
yeah,
gonna need you
the
guys
technique.
to sound
I
off
would
in
have
the
to
There's
really
comments.
no
practice.
brakes.
Yeah,
There-
but I'd have to really practice.
Yeah, and until you get there, you're a sitting duck, dude. You don't have to practice biking. You sit on it and go, dude.
But the fear factor is just so much higher for me. I don't know why.
Dude, that's crazy. You're talking.
Because
you're
it's
speaking
so
in
many
tongues
moving
right
parts.
now.
Get in the
It's-
comments.
It's like I feel like it's harder to understand my surroundings. Bikes are confusing to my brain.
I guess skateboards are very simple.
You're
It's a
simple, you're low
board
to
and
the
some
ground.
wheels.
You can very easily step off.
I have
No,
an
you can't. Not
irrational-
without it stopping. No, if you're going like if you're going even like 8 miles an hour on a skateboard, you can't just step. It's hard. It's much more difficult to step off. A
Well,
bike,
you'd
you
lose
squeeze the
board.
handlebar.
You'd lose
Yeah,
the board, but you'd
On a
be
bike,
fine.
on a bike, I'm gonna do something on my webcam. Your hand goes from an open C to a closed C, and like there you go. You're slowing
Yeah.
down, baby.
This is not logical, I think, in my brain. It's devoid of logic, but it's how I feel.
I still love you.
Thank you.
No, I think
You
it's
too.
logical. I think Dan's just wrong.
What?
What?
I
No,
think
I'm
Dan's-
super right.
Well, you do bike a lot, so you got
bike
that
a
going
lot.
for you.
I don't bike
but you
or
have
skate.
so
I
much
used to.
more kinetic energy on a bike.
Yeah, but you're so much more in control of it.
Yeah, I hear you're. I understand what you're saying.
The control, but the thing is, I don't need control.
Yes, you
Like-
do.
What? Wait,
Okay.
But
I'm
in
back
New
out.
York
Hear
Sorry,
me
City, you
out.
need
I'm
more
back out.
control
I'm
than
on
anywhere
Dan's
else.
side now.
If I'm just
Okay, dude.
skating around the city, I'm mostly just going straight in a bike lane. I'm not doing crazy shit. I'm not going.
How are
like,
the-
Yeah, you go.
How are the
Imagine
bi-
going straight in a bike lane in a bicycle, though.
Yes, but for some reason that freaks me the fuck out.
That's crazy. Now, when's the
love
last time you
biking.
bicycled?
I years and years ago. Oh no! It was in 2020, my last spring at camp. I went biking.
2020
with
what?
A man. 2023. This guy took me biking, and he gave me the shitty bike, and I still haven't forgiven him.
Did he get the
Um,
good one?
He got the good bike. He
Were
took
there
the-
were there only two bikes?
Yeah, and mine, like, it was very hard to actually get on the bike. It was like way too
Did he
tall
not
for
lower
me.
the seat or something?
No, you couldn't. They were old bikes. They were like camp
Aw.
bikes.
A bike you can't
And
lower the seat on is like a
I
computer
was-
you can't turn on.
I resented him for that. I can't lie.
Yeah, no, I think that's part, dude. If you get a bike that's fucking works for you, the seat's at the right height and shit, and the handlebars feel good when you grab them, you're golden, dude.
Yeah, we biked down Route 1 to a little park, and it was like big time facing a fear for me. But that's the last time I biked. It was super fun.
So Dan, you put in the document ancient haircuts.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm super
And before you tell
intrigued
me
by
what
that.
this is, I want to know the process of those two words getting onto the document in the first place.
Dude, I can't explain where my shit comes from.
comes from God.
I literally can't. I was just like, dude, like, how did the ancient Romans get haircuts? Did they use a sword?
When were scissors invented?
That is a question that I don't know.
It's
But-
like
Let me look it up.
Yeah.
they definitely
fact
were
check.
getting haircuts in ancient Rome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
They're
no, I
getting
can
hella
answer this
haircuts back
question
then.
for sure.
Yeah, how? Okay, well, let's hear it.
Well, what happens is it's actually not easy, but it's relatively low tech to make an edge that's really, really sharp.
Yeah.
Okay? Because what you need to do is you find increasingly smooth stones to grind anything, any metal, any glass or whatever, really sharp. And then you take a piece of leather that has a little teeny tiny bit of metal powder on it from rust or whatever, and you strop it to get this mirror edge. And you can make something like as sharp as a surgical scalpel. You can make something wicked sharp.
Yeah.
Very low tech. And the next question is, how do you make scissors? And you could totally make scissors back in Roman times. It was just a very complicated task because scissors have 1, 2, 3 different bends. Scissors bow in to each other so that you can see light through them when they're closed. They also twist, and I think that they also curve a little bit like crossed fingers, right? And so you have to, with a little tiny hammer and a lot of practice, you have to set these twists into the blades of the scissors. And but none of this is high tech. It's all like skill.
Yeah.
And none of this requires steel. It's just that the edge doesn't last as long.
Uh-huh.
So they were not only cutting hair, they were shaving.
Yeah, they were totally shaving.
Yep.
Do you think we could align like the starting of when we started cutting our hair and facial hair to like I bet we could link that to like other things in society, like related to like because we don't need the hair anymore for like its purpose.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that lines up with like other changes in society.
There are some things like that I know about. Like the one that comes to mind is there was a general, and I don't know what period of history this is in, sorry about that, but there was a general or a king who couldn't grow a good beard, basically like me. And
Your beard's fine.
thank you.
beard's
Got a
great.
fine beard.
Thank you. But he couldn't grow a good beard, and he shaved, and because he shaved and he was embarrassed about it, he made all the troops in an entire army shave, and that's why you have to shave if you're in the army, unless you have an exemption.
Wow.
And the other very similar thing is there was a king, Edward the Seventh, and I do know this king, who was too
Personally?
fat to button. Oh yeah, to button the top button on his waistcoat,
Sick.
and that's why on a formal waistcoat, like a white tie event, you're not supposed to button your top button, because this fashion started with the king.
Mm.
So sometimes it does actually change culture.
Yeah. Vanity. I read this great
Yeah.
book recently called nope, that's not what it was called. It was called Jitterbug Perfume. Thank you, by Tom Robbins, and it's about immortality, perfume, and beats. And in it there was a king who, like, as soon as he showed any gray hair, the custom was that he would be killed and the new king would
What?
be chosen. So he chose to never die instead. Fuck my life.
Hmm.
Anyway, this king decided, instead of being killed for having gray hair, he was gonna never die. No spoilers though. You should read it. It's a very good book.
So what else were you wondering? Like, just how they cut the hair, or like what kind of haircuts?
That's what I was thinking.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, I imagine at the beginning it was probably like, I mean, I think everyone probably always wanted to like look good, but I think that A, the definition of good has radically changed. B, we're going from a society of people with completely unkempt shit to people with kempt shit, and it definitely started with the king. It was definitely like the guy who had all the money got to like look good and then decide what looking good meant.
Well, this reminds me
Absolutely.
of so the Qing. Oh my God, I hope I'm saying it right. Qing. It's not Qin, right? Qing dynasty. They were a Manchurian
Which one?
dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not remembering the dates, but this was, a long time ago, but also not, because time. But so they were a Manchurian dynasty. They were a non-Han dynasty. And so they like mandated that everyone cut their hair in the Manchurian style. Like they made everyone,
Was it the Fu Manchu?
I don't know, but it was like you shave like the whole front part of your head.
Racist.
No, it's Manchu.
I don't know if that, I don't know what that is, to be real. But
It's the first half of Manchuria.
so that was a haircut
Oh,
being
actually, yeah,
used
A good question. Then.
as a way of controlling the people and make it so like your way was the uniform way, because they were a minority group in the country being in control, in the empire being in control. So that's interesting.
So Francie, what the fuck is on Mars?
Dirt.
Nothing.
Something.
There's two guys. There's Steve and there's David.
And there's
Have you
one
watched
chair.
The Martian? Oh my God.
And they're like, "You're out of my chair. My owners in the chair."
Have you guys watched The Martian with Matt Damon?
No, I've heard it's
No.
very
Oh
good.
my God, it's so good. It's
I've
so
heard
good.
I've heard only good things.
But I feel like there's like some human
Well,
tech
they didn't
up
talk
there.
about Steve and David. That's the problem.
No, they talked about Matt.
It was a major omission.
Yeah. Oh my God. Mars looks like it could be on Earth,
It does.
which is crazy.
It
There
just
are
looks like
parts of
Nevada,
Australia.
but like in a yeah,
Parts
but
of
like
Yeah.
during
Australia
a
look
during a
exactly like
storm.
there's some of our tech up there, and like not much else, right?
Yeah.
There's a
How
little bit
crazy
have
of
an
would it be,
atmosphere?
guys? Can you
Big.
imagine the Curiosity rover comes over a hill and the cameras looks down at the Martian dirt and it sees a footprint? We would go nuts on planet Earth. We would lose our collective minds.
We very well may get something like that deep faked not too long in order to drum up support for a Mars mission.
Oh my God, NASA, do it.
Do it.
AI
Do
has
it.
done so much evil. Use
Yeah.
it, use evil for good.
Well,
Do you guys know how the Curiosity rover is powered?
Steve and David pushing
solar.
around.
Yeah, they're
Steve-
like, oh man, I hate my fucking job.
You sit in the chair, I'll push the rover and do some fucking work for the first time
Okay,
in
then
your
I'm
life.
gonna I'll do it for 8 hours, then I get to sit in the chair.
All right.
Fine.
That's why we brought this chair.
Why they bring one chair?
Budget cuts.
Yeah.
Budget cuts. Wait, so does Mars have an atmosphere?
Mars
Yeah.
does have an atmosphere. Mars has an atmosphere and it has storms. It has
Is it any good?
storms.
Well, that's why.
How's
Matt
the
Damon
atmosphere?
was
How's the
stuck.
vibes?
How's
The
the
vibes are extremely negative, but the atmosphere is there. It's there enough that the rover's landing used parachutes.
Wow. What?
I know. The rover's landing used parachutes, and it's got enough of an atmosphere that Curiosity rover flew a drone.
Oh, that's so
You guys know
sick.
about that?
No.
Nah, I
they
didn't.
flew
I
they
believe
flew
you.
a drone on Mars. I think it's out of
Ugh,
batteries now,
I
but they
love
did
her.
do that.
I love her. Curiosity. Ooh, one of my faves.
Yeah.
Concepts.
She's-
And
Dan,
Yeah.
do you know how big the rovers are already?
Fucking. They're probably the size of a fucking Cybertruck.
I imagine they're
Yes.
smaller. Oh,
No,
okay.
they're actually the size of almost the size of a Cybertruck. They're actually massive, especially Curiosity.
Nice.
Wow.
The
that
Cybertrucks are like
makes sense.
deceptively huge.
No, they're way too big.
I see them
They're
in New
like
York sometimes, and
way
I'm like,
bigger.
do you realize what's going on?
Yeah, right? You're crazy if you have a fucking Cybertruck in New York City.
Like,
Yes.
like
Where are you going to
no
park
one
that
here
fucking road boat?
likes you in any way. No one here is even.
Your
pretending.
ass is sticking out into the street when you park that bitch.
Everyone hates you.
And that's not the car. It's just your ass is
Yeah.
just that big if you have a Cybertruck.
Yeah, if you're trying to parallel park,
Fuck you.
game over.
It's
Game
actually
over.
so Dan, unfortunately, it's actually very easy to parallel park a Cybertruck because it has rear
No,
wheel
it's-
steering
Oh yeah, okay.
and it has adaptive steering, so it's actually very easy to parallel park. Sorry to
All
burst
right,
your bubble.
whatever.
Whatever.
It's got a lot of other shit that sucks about it.
because it's
So
ugly.
the Curiosity rover does not use solar panels, so I want you guys to tell me where it gets its power from.
Batteries.
That would have lasted for 5 years?
Tops, yeah.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
hydroelectric.
It's
Oh, yeah,
not.
it's river.
Oh.
It's got its own
got
rivers.
it's got a little waterfall in there.
So it's not wind. It's not wind because there's no wind turbines.
That's
it's not
equally
fuel.
amazing. It's got the same Honda engine as my snowblower, actually.
Okay, I'm just trying to do process of elimination.
Yeah,
It's not
and I'm gonna
geothermal.
say some dumb shtick every time you. Yeah, no, it's it's
Give us a hint though.
geothermal.
Does it really?
It is geothermal. I don't know what that means.
No,
How?
absolutely not.
Oh.
Yeah.
way too easily believe that. That's embarrassing.
No.
Literally, what other types of power are? Is it coal?
So
I
does it
know.
turn stuff into steam?
It does.
Okay.
No,
And
it
it's
doesn't.
not fucking solar?
Wait,
no,
stop
no,
saying
no, it
yes.
doesn't.
It doesn't turn things
You're
into steam.
confusing us.
Okay, so it does.
Is it nuclear?
So they would have to have a fucking power plant in it. I'd have to
Yeah,
have a
no.
particle accelerator.
It actually has a little cooling tower.
Stop.
Is it fucking
Please.
nuclear?
Yeah, so it actually is nuclear.
No, you're kidding. You're
Oh.
kidding. You're joking.
It's not the same kind of. So it's not strong nuclear force like a nuclear power plant or an atom bomb. It's weak nuclear force. What they do is at Oak Ridge National Laboratory, they have a actual nuclear reactor in a bath of water, and it glows blue with Cherenkov radiation, all that stuff. And in this reactor,
Nice.
they don't make power. They use their massive neutron
make
flow that they get
pancakes.
from the reactor. to make
Massive neutrons.
pancakes. They use the massive neutron flux that's coming out of this reactor to griddle up the best pancakes you've ever fucking tasted.
Dude,
Oh
you're
my
fucking.
God. I
You
want
shut up, man.
pancakes.
Sorry. So no,
Is
but I'm
any of
actually
this
not.
real?
I'm actually not joking. All of that is real except for the pancakes.
Okay.
They make plutonium. They turn uranium something into plutonium by putting
Mars.
the uranium, which we mine out of the ground, in the center of the reactor, and the neutrons actually make the atoms bigger. Right?
How
'Cause
does it
adds
get to
neutrons.
Mars?
Patience, grasshopper. So they take these bits of plutonium, and these bits of plutonium will stay hot for a long time, many years, because they're radioactively decaying and they're emitting alpha particles and stuff like that. And so if you can find a way to turn heat into electricity, then you can power shit.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we do. We use thermoelectric generators. We have basically a firewood log of plutonium aboard this thing, and it's generating electricity for the foreseeable future. It's wonderful.
So how can we turn pollution into electricity?
I mean, we just burn it. We do it all the time.
How do we feel about nuclear power?
Love it.
Strongly
Fuck
pro.
with nuclear.
Strongly
yeah.
agree.
Nuclear power fucking rules, dude. It's been king dick for fucking
It's
30
very
years.
dangerous. It's very dangerous,
It's
which is
not
scary.
any more dangerous than fucking fossil fuels.
I know.
It's true.
Way less dangerous than fossil fuels.
Have you
It's
ever watched
true.
those videos about like what would happen if all humans like disappeared?
No,
No.
Okay.
but I have seen them. YouTube
probably
really
be a
wants
net
me to
good.
watch that video.
It would
Well,
be a good thing.
all
for
the nuclear
planet.
power plants, would break down and kill a lot of animals.
Oh.
Yup.
Oh, you mean
It's-
like suddenly it disappeared.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, Earth would obviously still ultimately recover,
recover?
but
Yeah.
But
I
yeah.
mean, nuclear power has like a fear factor that makes it kind of
Yeah, because
complicated.
fucking Chernobyl and just a lot of pushing by the fossil fuel company, I think, is like behind that rally, getting people to be scared of nuclear power when it's like the fucking best shit ever.
It's crazy. I can't believe we can do that. I mean, I guess it's similar
Yeah,
to how I
that's
feel
so
about
awesome,
going to the
dude.
moon. It's like the word graceful comes to mind again.
And like we're all out here saying, "Oh, we got to keep burning fucking coal and throwing
Yeah.
plastic in the ocean. It's
Yep.
the only way. It's the only way." Ooh. It's like, dude, we've had nuclear power for like 40 fucking years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the question of how to dispose of the waste is also somewhat solved.
Yes.
It's a civil engineering problem.
Yeah,
You just need
my
to-
mother my mother's good friends with somebody who like works in that field, and he's
Yep.
like he's like one of the leading experts in how we get rid of nuclear waste.
Yeah, we
What a cool
basically
job.
Send it to
don't.
Mars.
We basically don't get rid of it. We just put it.
Yeah, we can't get rid of
mountain.
it. Yeah. We put it in a
Yeah.
mountain. That's where it goes. That's fine.
But we've
That's
got
fine.
mountains.
We
We
got
need a
loads
very
of mountains.
specific kind of mountain.
We're
What
going
kind of
to
mountain
have
we
to
need?
fuck up Earth in some way.
You have to hurt the world a little bit.
It's true.
Let's pick a
when-
way that we
when you're
can
born
continue
into
to be
this-
alive
Yeah.
and figure
when
out how to
you're-
make it even better. I don't know. That's silly.
It's like
but-
when we're born into this world, we're given two choices: hurt the world a little bit or hurt the world a lot. You
Yeah.
don't get to not hurt the world at all.
Well,
get
I mean, unless you are exiting society completely, that's always an
Yeah.
option. You can
I would
exit
argue-
society and go live in the woods.
You can't really do that. Like
Kinda
you
can't
can,
really
What
but
do you mean?
nobody does.
Yeah,
People do.
If
Nobody does.
not completely.
Yeah, not completely. Living off grid, there are places where you can go and do that. Like you have
Oh,
to
absolutely.
you have to accept a standard of living that is sort of ridiculously less than we're used to nowadays. Like you have
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
no there's no more medicine. You know
You know
there's
what
no
would
more
also-
toilet paper.
What would also make that hard is when humans were living in that way, pre-society, pre-haircuts, you were never alone.
Yeah, everyone else was doing it too.
You were with your group because humans are social
Yeah.
creatures needing
Well, you
like a
can't.
band.
Yeah, you can't really do it alone. So you could go ahead and move to, just a ridiculously poor part of the world, and then you will really no longer meaningfully impact the environment
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
if you choose the right place. But you won't have. I mean, it'll be an awful life. Like, we
Not
want these people to
necessarily.
affect the environment more
Mm-hmm.
because we want them to have more
Yeah,
stuff.
I fucking stand nuclear power so damn much. I love it so much.
Yeah, I've
So
always been a
Dan,
It's my
fan.
favorite.
you asked what kind of mountain. You need
Yeah,
a mountain
what kind of mountain we need?
Yeah, it has to be not tectonically active, and we have to do our best to guess that it won't be tectonically active within the reasonable decay amount time.
Like how long is that? 50 years? 100 years?
Well, it'll be like 10 or 20 half-lives, right?
Oh,
Because
okay.
we need a lot of it to decay.
Those 10 or 20 half-lives. Well, how long is that?
I don't know what that means.
So a half-life is more complicated than this. I'm simplifying. Nuclear engineers in the
Yeah.
comments
Please.
can fill us in. But But what happens is you've got all of this fission product. So you've got xenon 135, and you've got uranium 238. What is uranium fission into? I don't remember. Doesn't fucking matter. You've got all these fission products that come out of the reactor, and they're
Fish.
very, very hot. They've been allowed to cool down in the cooling tank, so they're less hot than they were. So they're like hot to the touch, right? But they're not glowing, and they're very, very, very radioactive. And they're radioactive if they're sitting there in front of you, but they're especially radioactive if they're allowed to get into the atmosphere. So
Mhm.
as you leave them, for the clock starts spinning 10,000 years, 100,000 years, whatever, they change into other elements because they let neutrons fly off, and that changes, they change into other elements. Changing into
Mhm.
elements is letting protons fly off. Again, nuclear engineers, sound off in the comments. But when they decay, change into other elements, those other elements are less radioactive. So when half of your fission products by mass have decayed into something else, that's a half-life. Because every now and then an atom will change into a different atom and be less radioactive. So on average, when half of your atoms in your fission products have changed, that's a half-life.
Nice.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not
so,
able to comprehend right now.
Yeah, I mean, don't worry about it. But basically it's just how long for it to not be dangerously radioactive.
Yeah, so Francie, if
Okay.
you have 100 atoms and it takes a day for about 50 atoms to have decayed, that's the half-life is 1 day.
So
Oh,
for
that's
this,
sup- that's
for this
super
mountain full of
intuitive.
radiation, how long does it need for it? How much time do we need for it to not be tectonically active?
I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and guess that it's in the millions. We build these things to
Millions
be
of years.
Yeah, we build these things to be safe for like 100, 200, or 300,000 years. But I think that in terms of tectonics, you really want them to be safe for. There's all kinds of interesting stuff about this. Like, for example, you really, 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 really want humans or other sentient creatures that might come after us in a fucking million years to not dig it the fuck back up, right?
Yeah.
So you don't want them to mine all of these dangerous fission products by mistake.
Mhm.
How do you tell them? Because it's
Don't
a
come in here.
million years from now. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
you put
up a
read it
sign.
in English.
No, dude, skull and crossbones.
That's
Well, so
people
what do you do?
So Skull and Crossbones, Dan, if you go to Guadalajara, Mexico, right, they know what a skull and crossbones means. But culturally
Yeah.
speaking, if they weren't exposed to Western culture, it would have a very different meaning. So there's a bunch of different things that they do. This is not a solved problem yet. One thing we do is we make it spiky. We
Yeah.
leave like booby traps, but they're obvious, so just like stay away devices. We put barbed ass wire. But if you see, Dan, a corridor into a mountain that is lined with barbed wire and leads off into the dim and distant distance, you're going to go down it.
I'm
You're
gonna
gonna
be
a
like, I gotta get in there.
completionist.
I gotta
gotta
get in there.
I know. So how do you not do this? And the best idea, and yes, I'm stealing this from a YouTube video, that's okay, is people, what if you created a cult? Like an old ancient
the
cult.
protectors
where
of the mountain.
The protectors of the fucking
Ooh,
mountain.
ooh, I love that.
This is like the best idea people have had for this.
Yeah.
Isn't that so fire? Like,
And I
my
would like
voice-
to be a
I'm
part.
choking up. I've got chills at how fire that idea is.
That's awesome. Like I
Yeah.
want
But
to write. I
millions
want
of
to write
years,
about
though.
that.
How do you know if they're gonna still, if
You
they
don't-
won't be like usurped?
And therein lies the problem and the reticence people have to fuck with nuclear power.
Oh, that's so pathetic.
It's
But
pathetic.
we're all
No,
the
I disagree.
more willing
but-
to fucking burn coal in the atmosphere for 100 more years.
Yeah. No, I
We're
know.
stoked to do that. But ooh, how do we get people to not mine something in a million years? Like, dude, relax.
I don't think they're right, but this is the reticence people have. I think that it's a solvable. I think that in the end,
It's
we can
moron
find
mode.
ways to think our way out of this problem.
Yeah.
Or, as Dan says more simply, it's moron mode. So a lot of chit-chatting before I said the welcome. All right, let's close it out. So thank you guys so much for watching the 3rd episode of Was This Helpful? I hope it was helpful. Comment below if it does. Nuclear engineers, trust me, I really want to hear from you. For the meantime, we have been Dan Pasto.
Dan Pasto.
You say bye.
Oh. Bye.
Francie Davies.
Bye, guys. Good luck. Be
And I've
good.
been Eli Davies. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.